Hello everyone, this is Samir the Knight, and welcome back to another live stream. Let's get started here. Happy Friday, hope all you're doing well. We're going to be continuing on the main story today. And specifically, we are going to be tackling the main story quest that was added in patch 4.3, which is titled Under the Moonlight. Last we left off, Lord Hien got visited by some Garleans who talked about peace. Now, I'm very skeptical of such peace, but we'll have to see how things play out. Also, in the meanwhile, the Gosetsu and Tsuyu finally returned to Lord Hien after we had found out earlier that he was still alive, but now the party and myself actually know that he's alive. And so it seems that Gosetsu wants to protect Tsuyu for some reason. Whether she's getting attached for some reason or something like that, I don't know. But more we found out as we progress in the story. So, since last time, I have been continuing on my farming for poetics, or not poetics, the tomestones for the Mughal event. And in the meanwhile, I've also managed to get my samurai to max level. I don't want to change thing here right now, but yeah, so anyway, samurai is level 70. Actually, whatever, that's fine. Those are actually here. Before I do that, let me just do this, because I don't want to the glamour is applied to that. Okay, so yeah, my samurai is level 70. I have all the Scavian gear equipped, although I have put out my own glamour for the way I want things to look. So here he is with a nice new Magitech weapon, which is not all that different from the one Magitech weapon I had when I was level 50 as well, but it's a little bit different, a little cooler. I like the little lines of like Magitech that's in it, so looks cool. But so yeah, I've been using this class to kind of level up and get things ready, or just to farm the things I've been needing and leveling up as I go. So now I've been focusing on my paladin. So my paladin's at 63. I think it was 61 previously. I got that like within today. So we're still doing that. We are very, very close. I only need 230, and as you can see here, I have 222. So really I can just do one small dungeon, which that's not really a thing for this. For the tomestones I'm trying to get, it only kind of leaves the raids. And yeah, I just need to take the time to do it. I need to do the Void Arc. I literally need 8 more, so the Void Arc will be the best thing for me to do. Plus, it actually lines up with one of the things I need to do for my Wondrous Tales for the week, so win-win. But in the meanwhile, which is also in the meanwhile me doing that, I've been also trying to work on getting the Realm Reborn relic weapons, which is what these were when I didn't want the glamour to assign itself to it there, but it's a level 50 weapon, so it's not going to be useful for me right now, but I wanted to get it because of the way it looks. And it's one of the relic weapons I've been wanting to get for a long time, so I decided, oh, I'm gonna put some effort into it and actually work on getting it. So this would have been, it's not complete yet. There are multiple stages to acquiring the ultimate the best weapon at level 50. and I never really went far into actually getting one. The stage that my weapon is right now is the same one I got for my Black Mage, because that's the class I started with, right? So I got it, and I realized I had to do the step which I'm currently on, which is a whole bunch of grinding, and it's like, oh god, fuck that, I'm not gonna worry about doing it. And so I said forget about it. But the current step involves farming fates for materials, these atmas, and you have to get 12 distinct versions of that, and so it just takes a long time. But I decided, hey, I wanted to get this so it can be officially part of my glamour kit. You need to like max it out before you're allowed to buy a like replica version of it, because these are not ones you can put in the glamour box or in the armory or anything like that, as you can see from the icons. So, and I think I mentioned this before, those 3 icons, I was a little bit wrong about that. The one with the cross is, if you can get, is, does the armor allow for your full free company crest to be displayed on it? That's what the first one is. Then it's glamour, then it's armory, and then if you have a circle on the top right, that means if you can dye it, and the plus means it has been glamored. So with the color in the middle being whatever color it would be. So anyway, that's what I've been working on today a lot, besides doing like daily beast tribes related stuff and other things like that. So I've been doing a whole lot of stuff, and also working on, besides that, I've been also doing a whole lot of stuff with crafters too. So I managed to get my carpenter maxed out, leatherworker and weaver maxed out. So there's that. So that's everything I have to catch up on. So before we get started on the main story stuff, I wanted to finish up the custom deliveries that I started last time. So if we go to Tamamizu real quick, we'll give I just wanted to show off the cutscene and see if there's anything unique there. This is going to be the last item I can give for the week, and then on next Wednesday, well, it resets on Tuesday, right? I'm going to craft whatever I need to get her to the next rank after Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I'll be able to show off any additional scenes or anything like that. So, all right, so she just needs, right, I need to be and let's actually, yeah, we'll just stick to blacksmith. Yeah, blacksmith. Sturdy, yet still light. A harpoon such as this should serve as well as against sharks and help keep our water safe. That was the whole point. This one is just like the next set of items she wants. She wants sharks to keep people safe. I kind of skipped over the dialogue at the time, but it's brilliant. Thank you, and all that. So that's the last thing you can give. And then usually when you give your 6 items, they give you a little cutscene like, hey, that's enough for the week. Thank you for your help, that kind of thing. So I'm truly grateful for your many contributions, Samir. At risk of repeating myself, I find myself marveling at your versatility. Is there not that you cannot do? I'm a jack of all trades, master of all. Or I will be, at least. You have delivered the weekly maximum to Kurenai. You may begin making deliveries starting Tuesday at 4 a.m. Earth time. Oh, the timing is actually earlier than usual. Usually the cutoff day is like 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, I can't make any more deliveries, but that got me 3 deliveries, got me to halfway for her. So next time I'll just make sure I make 3, and then I'll see what's the next thing she wants us to do and deliver those 3. We'll do the same thing like this time. I'll do 3 on Wednesday and then 3 on Friday. Just so you can see how that all plays out. Okay, I gotta remember I have to return to I can teleport to Rago's Reach for free. I keep teleporting there when I don't need to. Just use the return instead. All right, so same thing. Go talk to Minago. And here's the Far Eastern Antique that she asked this time. Far Eastern Antique, is it? Put my phone on. I don't want to put it on. Well, actually, I don't have I'm on call this week, so. But I have someone cover me for today. So, okay. Far Eastern Antiques. Is that damned if I know how to craft an antique, but the collectors don't seem to pay it any mind. If anything, this sword seems to appeal more. Now then, on closer inspection, bug at me, you don't see something like this every day. Hell, you're lucky to see something like this once on a blue moon. I don't know how you're doing it, but keep it up. And then she has her own little cutscene. Gotta say, Samara, you've done more than your fair share for the fun. We don't want to impose you on you any further, not right now. Rest up and come around another time, well, alright? Oh man. I just had a thought. Minago. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it nice. Might have a new waifu. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show that off, get that out of the way. We'll continue that on Wednesday, just showing that off real quick. We have a bunch of things planned for Wednesday, so I'll just try to get that one out of the way quickly before doing like the Hildebrand stuff, most likely. So we'll follow up then at that point. So now, oh my god. Oh my, stop. Okay, so, so we, left them off with, what happened last? We made the deal with the Garleans, like, okay, hey, we're gonna exchange our prisoners, at a date in the future, right? But the guy who we talked to apparently hates my guts because he loves Xenos incredibly much. So he hates my guts and wants to kill me. But the Garleans definitely have some kind of plan in the back. They're trying to do something in the back and backstab us. But I guess the question is whether or not we fall for it or not. We seem to be falling into their hands here as it is, but we kind of said, all right, call us when the shit happens. Yeah, so I'm fully expecting things to go south because they're gonna try and play us in some way. Whatever Shai is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all, Lord Hien has done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. Indeed. More often than not, it seems opportunity is wont to come knocking when the signs are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable venture will present itself. That's not what we're here for right now, but well, Sorban's doing alright, and I have to pay a visit to make sure he's going lax in his training. Yeah, I'll be following up with him in a couple days. Which actually is a good point for me to bring up. So I have the whole next week off. I took vacation, so I can stream more often. I might stream every day, Monday through Friday. Possibly. If I do, I definitely can get everything done for Stormblood done this week. And I was planning on that anyway because Again, this is for patch 4.3 for Under the Moonlight. Only at patch 4.4 and 4.5. And technically 4.56, which is part 2 of the last thing, but I'm gonna include 4.5 and 56 together. That was my plan anyway. So it's today and then 2 more main story quest days, really, which I was planning to do Monday and Fridays. But if I do like Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can have that done by then. I don't know, something to think about. I don't want to ramble too much. I want to move on with the story. So, Gosetsu and Tsuyu. She doesn't remember who she is yet. It is genuine at this point. It seems genuine. So, what's gonna happen is the thing. I really hope that even if she gets her memory back, it's like she realized that Gosetsu is like actually trying to help her out here. I don't know, but Samir, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. Good, that's part of the agreement. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing the Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yanja. It would seem that the prisoner exchanges proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. Yeah, of course. According to the letter, Yotsui's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Ashai weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. But let's make straight way for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be careful. Just come back safely. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Alright, here we go. Alright, so, finally back on track with the main story. Let's do it. Alright, so... Ooh, look at this fabulous looking guy over here. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, one of the things we want to do, I talked about it briefly about the Doman reconstruction effort. Apparently, a lot of this area was like closed off initially when this came out, but because they can't just like hold off places that some people can and can't walk through, they, as people got further in the reconstruction effort, they opened it up more to everyone, right? Not just to the people who completed it. So that's why when I walked around earlier, when off camera, and I just got the rest of the things, and you can see buildings and such there, but they're all incomplete. So part of the reconstruction, once we get to it, I'll be getting to it on Wednesday. It's gonna be very similar in a sense, but not very similar to how the foundation worked in Ishgard a little bit. I've did some research on how it works, but we'll talk about it when the time comes. We have spared no effort to increase the guard at every settlement here in Yanja. The Red Kojin will trouble us no more. On that you have my word. I still think that he planned it. Okay. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alphinaud has had his purse string in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. Elise, are you living off your brother? You know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman's friend's progress from Lord Hien himself. True enough. So, Lord Hien, What's the news? Ah, see, my letter has reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of a forthcoming exchange, there was one matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Oh, really? Good gods, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are here, however, I think it's high time he has received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuya has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We'll visit him at once. Samir? Alize? Shall we? Of course.
Open wide now.
Oh my god, she's feeding him.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
You and I saved there, asshole. Yeah, he's totally falling for her. He's totally falling.
I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
Oh, she's actually gonna go out and get that then, huh? Watch.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration.
Uh-huh.
A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps. But with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Dude, you were riddled with holes. Thanks to Yotsuyo, mind. How you survive... God damn it, dude. You are a beast. I'll give you that. But...
Take off your clothes.
Excuse me, what?
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
LOL!
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Guys, come on.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
LOL.
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
You did that to him. You bitch. Oh my god, I feel so bad. It's like, and she's the one cleaning the guy. This is kind of, why are we watching him get cleaned up? I don't get that. That's number one. Why are we there watching him getting cleaned up? But that's number one. Like, oh, give him some privacy, fine. Yeah, so that's number one. But yeah, this scene all in itself is just kind of like, Hitsuyo, he knows. I know.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man.
Oh, she remembers.
Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
Well, it could have gone worse, I guess. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire to her and her a model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. Yeah, he's still a same kind of grumpy guy, but still. But what turn of events? I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him, he couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man, with the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. He has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he's shown the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for Legion land, and will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yasuda is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yagiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So what makes you so sure? She's convinced now? I've been spying on Tsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the top first. On evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I could but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else I would have hazarded. Aye, that matter is settled. Tsuyu will become Tsuyu, begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time, to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence of the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she is good as fasten the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first, out of the sight of the countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The garlands are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Okay. And now, actual waifu, Yagiri. Even after weeks of surveillance, it is difficult for me to accept that Tsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gosetsu's affection for her. Yeah, so it's been weeks at this point. Wait, right? Did I read that right? Even after weeks of surveillance, it is difficult for me to accept that Tsuyu's condition. Yeah, so it's been weeks since this whole business with her started. Just to give you an idea of a passage of time here. The skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. All right. You're making me walk all the way over there. Okay, got it. Oh, jeez. Can you imagine Tsuyu playing with bowls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. Alright, shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She's nowhere to be found. Oh my god, does she remember? What? But the guardians will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman, my lord? I don't rightly know, I think. Yes, my lord. Now that you mentioned, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. What is this new fallen snow it was? Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Yeah, she's gone. I think she remembers. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Scouting, aiming, healing, casting, sure. So, when she had that little flash there just a moment ago, I guess she remembered more than it led on, I guess? Why else would she run? Oh wait, maybe she went to get the persimmon that was mentioned before. Without Tsuyu, I cannot see how the persimmon exchange, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. Thoughts, though his face betrays little sign of panic, he is plainly desperate to find Tsuyu before something terrible happens. It seems she has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility of her disappearance for all this lies with me, but I would ask that you aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien, now as before. Let's make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know that what we have learned. I'll join you on the other side. Yugiri! We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I'll take Kusukare and its surrounds. Alphinaud, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminis? Samir, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzaka Manor? One of the Mazu may have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smiles upon us upon our efforts. Gotta go fast. This is not good. Yeah, the people of the manor here would be the closest people to... Yeah, so... Is there anything you care to know? You need only... A pale-skinned woman? I've seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have abundance. Someone on the inside, possibly? Nope. Alright, so the person is like on the other side of this. No, it's just the whole fucking manor. Okay. Skip. Yeah, alright, it's most likely someone inside then. And I just missed seeing it. Oh, right next to me, god damn it. Unusually pale skin. Yes, I saw this woman on the way back from the fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallow east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. Northeastern. Fingerprint? Footprints? You see no signs of Lucia to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere further off to the northeast. Still no sign of Lucia. Perhaps she is yet further to the northeast. Did she really manage to get all this way by herself? They're trying to eat me. Are you part of the... she's probably, it's part of the fate, probably. Never mind. Lucia is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. The cursory glance is all that required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Tsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. That's not good. What happened to her? Smear, before you ask, our search of Kurenai and the surroundings has yielded exactly naught. Save this chance for reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alize has gone to assist her brother at the Castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Gian here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yakuza Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? They saw her and she was heading in this direction, and here's her hat. Towards Namai. By the Kami, if the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours. You check the south one, I'll check the north one. I'll check the village proper. Go, go, go! Yeah, this is gonna be really bad if people see her. They might actually try to lynch her. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Oh, this is not good.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Oh, this is probably how she's gonna get back to learning her memory and be pissed off at us. Like, people hate you, girl. Why am I still standing there? Grab her, pick her up, and get out. Too late.
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsuyu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies! My lord, she would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Oh, please be the person of reason and actually.
Here, there's no need to cry.
Thank God. Children save the day once more.
Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Azami, you beautiful child, you. Thank you for stating the Elvis. She just saved it big
Until
time.
such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Aw. Okay, she's getting pieces of her memory back, which is good. She hasn't turned into a complete bitch 180 like right away. So I have a good. I feel okay about like where this is going. Like, okay, maybe this is good. She's remembering bits and pieces, but she's not immediately turning into a bitch, you know? Alright, you. Come on, let's head back. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. Hope he likes it. All this over a persimmon. Persimmon? I don't know how to pronounce that. I failed to consider how she might endanger herself, knowing she has the mind of a child. I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed. Ian's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. That was no escape. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems there was an offhanded request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of persimmon. Huh, they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu find the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let's continue on the Castrum Fluminis and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphinaud and the allies should still be there, conducting their search. Aw. Like, again, she's not necessarily forgiven, but I'm allowing it, like, even if she remembers at this point, I'd be willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, look, hey, you remember? Clearly, you're sorry. Well, as of yet, it seems like it. It seemed genuine. Because she's remembering bits and pieces here, but it's not completely back yet, so we'll have to see how it plays out, I guess. Hey guys, how's it going? But it seems her memory hasn't returned at all after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosei's craving for seasonal fruit. Lord Hien confirmed us with the uproar in Namai. Then the 12 you found Tsuyu when you did. I do not think what might have happened had you not. Yeah, she would have been lynched in the streets, and that would not have been a good thing. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. Well, we'll have to find out here shortly. Do you have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. Tsuyu, oh, okay. Depending on what happens here, you might not be going back. The fuck are those? Are they keeping the prisoners in there? Like,
what a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
this bastard.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Tsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Okay. He's like looking me dead in the eye like, I hate you, motherfucker. Her parents?
Tsuyu. You look well.
Oh my god, is it her parents? The people who actually sold her into the sex trade? Are you fucking serious?
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Anything but, you fucking ass. I see now the context of why they showed those scenes to us prior. Just to see the boy from before, because we've seen this in the Echo.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient.
He was trying to get her to turn her memory. I see what he was doing there.
You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma.
Is that an actual mirror?
Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
Okay, seriously, what are those boxes? I'm a little suspicious about that. I'm a little tense now because of that. Like, what the fuck? I knew better than trust Sai, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I've sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give you Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You had that look, Alphinaud. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. We can discuss it as we walk. I suppose Tsuyu is to become an official Doman citizen, but what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever, or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? So, it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Tsuyu presence here will not present further problems. Okay, it was a big... Still don't know what he's trying to do here. That's the problem. We should really visit the Gosetsu and reassure him of Tsuyu's fate. He'll want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
Yeah. I'm feeling sympathetic to her now. Like,
I
after
like this Asahi less and less.
Seriously. You're making me sympathetic to Yotsuyu now, which is, I guess, part of the writing of what they're trying to do here, but the story's not over yet, so I'm being a little wary, that's all.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention.
Yeah, what's,
I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the Castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
Mm-hmm.
My lord, forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone.
Oh god, not again. Already?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
What the fuck? What happened now?
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Of course. God damn it, we just got back from bringing her back. Where are you, Tsuyu? Where are you now? Is she out here?
Help. Help.
Is someone hurt? Oh, what the fuck? Are you okay? What? Oh god, he's...
Help. Help me.
Oh shit. And the echo hits me now. Okay. Her father? What was she doing? I didn't realize it at first. Like, okay, like, I just saw the blood in his mouth. I was like, oh shit. Why is she running? Okay. So she should be just running because she just wants to get out for a little bit. Or, not even that. She just wants to run. Okay. She's outside, though. It's not like...
If only I hadn't remembered.
Okay, I think she actually does remember. Oh, okay, she has a Tanto.
He should hate me.
Gosetsu. Okay, all right. This is what I was hoping for. I was actually kind of hoping it. So she remembers now. She remembers fully. That's what it seems like now. Now she feels bad about it now. That's the thing. Okay, good. Character redemption. That's... He should hate me.
But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Oh. Oh.
Who's there?
Oh.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu.
And
a font of misery.
You still acted like trashy motherfucking parents. Oh my god, Okay, I don't feel bad about them getting stabbed. You two, you two deserved it. You two fucking deserved it.
You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure.
You realize she was a fucking viceroy, right?
We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine.
You were you lived here.
Deserve this.
You know what you actually deserve? That knife to the gut.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament.
How did they get over here in the Enclave? Did they got it?
You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer.
You motherfucker!
Kurenai and start a new business.
You motherfucker! Oh my god, I don't... Oh, I feel no sympathy for this motherfucker. You do the same thing to me again.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be.
You just have shitty parents, Tsuyu. I don't fault you for what you've done now. I think I've actually turned around.
If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it.
Okay, no, I don't want you to go full evil, though. I don't want you to go full back to evil. Please don't. I would be like...
To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma.
Why Doma?
Against all my enemies.
It's not even Doma, it's just them.
And it begins
with you!
And she's back.
Tsuyu!
What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise.
You should hate him too, to be honest, so...
You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Yo.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance.
Yo, fuck
and
you,
the
SI.
power to see it through.
SI, you fucking dick. She could have just been enough, just kill their parents and be like, alright, I'm done. Oh, god damn it.
Please. I don't want to die.
You deserve it, asshole. I would have spit in his face.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Hope we can at least convince her to like come back. I think Gosetsu's gonna be the one to have to do it. None of us are gonna be able to like convince her like, yo Tsuyu, please, enough, you know? So Yutsuya has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I cannot say I'm surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Asai's aim in all this. Yeah, what the fuck's he trying to do? So Asai got his way in the end, and an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yutsuya hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I kept asking myself when it could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps? But then why would she... Nay, there is not to be gained from such a conjecture. She gained it back then, most likely, in full. But it's only when her parents... Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like... She probably would have been okay if she was stopped from her suicide attempt. And, even if she went as far as killing her parents, if we caught her in time, you know, probably would have been like, okay, look, I understand you recover your memories, but hopefully we can move past it. But I don't know. It's not to say that she shouldn't pay with her for her crimes of killing, you know, murdering people, but at the same time, it's like she was definitely, as you saw at the very beginning of that, good. She has a little bit of a character redemption, right? She's sorry for what she's done, and Gosetsu's being so nice to her. He's like, I don't want to have him treat me like this. This is not after everything I've done. We recovered Norris's remains and will hold the cremation anon. What they have never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. Anyway, I think they fucking deserve that shit for sure. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yutsuya has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is, by any measure, a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we are bound to surrender Yutsuya into the Guardian's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asai went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct, his apparent admiration for Xenos, it's plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexpected containers he insists on bringing to our meeting. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it is unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminis is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The Citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I'll step inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the Castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it will take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibun, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable to the water. Assuming, of course, Rochelle can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I had dealings with Rochelle and his pirates before. And won't be alone, will I, Samir? You can count on me. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lisa won't be there to reprise her role. I'm certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I'll accompany you there to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. They're not common brigands. Come now, Yagiri. They stood with us against the Empire. Exactly. Thank you, Ian. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. But by your leave, Master Alphinaud, and I shall be about our task. Like, seriously, yeah, like, as much as we don't like their business, like the whole piracy thing, they're officially allies of ours. We have to treat them as such. Okay, let's head to Onkoro. Onokoro. Conscripts and contingencies. Okay, where are we? We are the middle. This is like the halfway mark of the quest line here. We'll see how things go. Rasho, Tensui, good to see you both. Lucy is deserving of only one fate. Memory lost be damned. If you don't have the stones for it, we would be happy to take on the burden. It'll be over nice and swift. I mean, I agreed at one point, but... Now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of vile rats such as us? Bilge rats such as... If you come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you wasted a trip. What fine subject you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, restoration efforts would be a hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Yeah, we're allies. We're not gonna... Perhaps you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and we will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you heard of pirates, though, miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Alize, you should know this by now. Come on. Calm yourself, Mr. Alize. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there's more to be said. According to records recorded after liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brothers were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? I suppose so. You seem well informed in our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses were suffered at the Garlean's hands are no secret. But since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during the Battle of the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, the upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weakness. That is, if the Dorman Lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Dorman Lord. If we inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a truss. That's the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on the deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanashai. I thought you had a knack with parlaying with pirates. For the record, I thought I had a knack. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. That he's actually a good guy and he actually wants the best for everybody? Yeah. And he's treating you as equals, guys, so he won't interfere with your way of life, and he just asks for your help every now and then. And of course, you know, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours, so it's a mutual beneficial relationship. That's the way I'm gonna see it, I suppose. Oh, I did not want to go underwater. Fuck. Southwood hull plank. Let's see. No signs of damage here. Cool beans. How are we looking, Hien? This water is so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby since... but I should be concentrating on the task at hand. Aye, aye. For once, I'm actually glad Yagiri's in here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Hien to inspect his hull. Yeah, like, you would have the Lord of Doma doing manual labor? How dare you? Like, it's not that big of a deal, Yagiri. You smell a small crack in some of the planks. Ah, okay. Hi, I'm the shipwright, apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seemed solid enough. There was definitely a crack on that side of the ship there. On the port side, near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracks or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Hien! The captain sent you to inspect the hull? Call me have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How far is our lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack on the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he still chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswears all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see in him that the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Emperor's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yanja or out on the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that the Ihansai and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I'll make preparations to cast off. Cool. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let's return to the Enclave. And away we go. Dun, 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 dun. Alphinaud tells me that they had a little trouble finding a suitable route of the Castrum, but he won't say much more than that. If I didn't know better, I'd think he was hiding something, though I can't imagine what. What, are you hiding a secret route or something? The Castrum was deserted, quite deserted. It was a simple matter to plot the shortest path out, hence our swiftness. Were there ghosts or something? What's going on? We found the Castrum's tower unoccupied and betraying no signs of recent activity. Only shadows and echoes waited us there. Alphinaud seemed oddly reluctant to linger, but I saw not to concern us. Okay. Yeah, he's scared of ghosts and stuff. I see Nagiri and Alphinaud's completed their task for us. They have been waiting. We scoured the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray that the Khan made these precautions were unnecessary. Okay, this is the quest I was expecting here at some point, because we have a trial at the end of this. Hien is, I don't know what the context and what's about to happen, but I know there's a trial coming up. And we're gonna have some fun with a trial in a bit, so here we go. Hien is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hokuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. You'll see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they wait us at the riverbank not far from the Castrum. Let's go. Da-da-da. Alright, quickest way is just to go to Namai and fly from there. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, how we doing on time here? Okay. I want to grab or take a quick break. There's the Confederate ship out there. Alright, everyone. With it, we had some hint of the ambassador's intentions. Had we not prepared for the worst, I should be wary of what's way of going through with this at all. Indeed. We cannot let that monster have his way. The tower rather spoils the view across the river. Does it not? I concede we might perhaps have chosen a less ominous place to conduct the exchange. My only concern is the safe return of our people. That is what my lord wishes, and that is what shall be done. What shall be done? A show? Always a pleasure. Then don't worry about the ship. It'll be where it needs to be. And with Tsuyu at the helm... Yeah, it's just far out enough that we can't see it from here. Alright, your party's assembled then. Aye. Ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Ashai has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape, and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the Castrum's loading docks. He will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let's be about it. Yeah, so we're going over there. Castrum Fluminis is... We're fighting over there, it seems. Yeah, they're inside that tower over there across the water. Okay. What is about to happen here? Oh my god, they are in there, aren't they? I swear, they're like dead and just stuffed in crates.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
They even, like, you know what? One thing that they haven't said anything, right? Like a contingency plan if this is a trap or something else like that, right? What are we going to do with the prisoners that we have? Because in a situation like this, like, oh, you killed our prisoners? Like the people, our Doman people? Well, fuck you then. We're just gonna kill the prisoners that we have. I don't know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But
indeed, we are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion. Welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Oh, right. Okay, I was like, wait. One of our captives had delivered herself. Or okay, she's talking about he's talking about Tsuyu.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Oh, there she is.
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting viceroy of Doma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish.
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
Okay.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling.
On the contrary, it is.
All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself.
It's Tsuyu.
I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken.
So the last couple days did not mean anything to you.
This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Okay, I had a feeling she would be the next trial boss that we will have to fight, but I wanted to know what the context would be. Fuck me. She's turning herself into a primal. Very similar to how Ysili did it.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
What the fuck is that? Don't stare at it. Blind yourself. Hello, Tsukiyomi.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Oh, he was playing this shit even without them. Wow. Really?
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw. Now!
As you command.
What the fuck?
My lord!
lord! You must fall back!
You ask me to run?
It is to me.
Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that veil.
Another bot. One moment. All right. That baleful light of yours.
But I am become Tsuyu, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Norman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Tsuyu, things could have been so much better. It didn't have to be this way. Okay, one of these are always so it's like it's so you know, I've had multiple instances of this where story things happen and oh we have a boss fight. All right, cool. Now I have to queue up for the boss fight, and you queue up as a DPS. So yeah, how's it going? Cool. You know, you queued up here as DPS, didn't you? Yeah. I can't fight now. Have to wait for the rest of my party. You gotta wait. Like, damn it. It's the worst. Okay. Let's Scholar. Yeah, we'll do Scholar. Okay. Just so we have a quick time with that, hopefully. Less than 5 minutes. Durability of one of your items is low. Oh, just my earring. No biggie. Okay. We already have a lot of people there, and the queue time shouldn't be very long at all. God damn, that was... So that's why he brought it there earlier with him, because he was hoping that her memory had come back, and then with the mirror, whatever that mirror is, it's like a relic for specifically her, Tsukiyomi, so that it can turn her into this. So if she remember her memories then, he would have summoned her right then inside the Castrum earlier. That's why he brought it there with us, or that's why he brought it there with him before. God, the fucking bastard. This guy is... He was... What was his... He just wanted to summon her? What's his full plan? What is he trying to actually do? Clearly, egging her on to summon Tsukiyomi is part of it, but what is his ultimate goal that he's trying to accomplish? because now he's like, oh, they betrayed their agreements. Doma betrayed, you know, one of the requirements of the thing. Like, they should not be trying to summon. Bitch, it's like you who the one who did it. Right? So, is he gonna like bring it up to the Emperor to make hostilities even worse? That's kind of what I'm thinking is gonna happen, I guess.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who haven't completed this yet. Hey, wake up, dude. You queued up for this. Well, he's DPS, so he's probably been on the queue for a while. Let's share the torment, shall we? Okay, those I've seen the fight a little bit. Okay.
Your end is near.
Damn, okay. You gotta watch for the one that comes last. Because then that's the way you can kind of dodge. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to it. We have a BPS thing? Enough of that. I wouldn't want the paint to... Okay, yeah. Stop it before they,
Beg for mercy. Your death will be all the sweeter.
So all you wish, I encourage it. Down for the count? Your death will be all the sweeter. Why does it... Ah, I understand. It feeds my spite. My suffering. Shades of the Dead. Pop of my misery, that's what you are. Yes, my dear parents. I was bane of your existence. God, her parents sucked so bad. Like, I do not, Oh, he's... Wait. Oh, no, that's you, her in the bottom. He's sitting in the middle of the floor there. Yeah, it's her on the bottom of the floor over there. Do not let the... Oh, that's fucking Xenos. Calm me down then. Surely it is so simple. Be gone. Step. Oh, Gosetsu! Why? You have no place here. Okay. Gosetsu, be the one that brings her back into the light. You must survive this, Tsuyu. The Kami spared us. We cannot repay the boon in death. Perhaps, but it's too late for me. There can be no redemption. Redemption story! Redemption story is the best! I like redemption stories.
In darkness blooms the spider lily. From mortal, I rise on you. Suffuse with night,
I shall prevail!
Alright. This you have to like stack on one side of the other. Okay, got one stack of that. They move the other side. Keep letting them switch. Alright, I got two, so I need a stack. I got 3 stacks, I gotta change here. You cannot let it stack too high. Okay. Whoa, what happened to you? Okay, first one, last one's over here. Dude, I've read you like twice today. They just... other healer? Can you... Thank you.
Diffused with night, I shall prevail!
Alright.
Your end is near.
Let's go here.
Black tendrils trail. No, not yet.
Oh, okay, he's... That person's not realizing the mechanics and getting Doom on them. That's the thing. You can't...
I'll grind you under my heel.
I think that's what the problem is. They're stacking up so high that they're getting Doom. I think that's what the mechanic was supposed to be.
Grind you under my heel.
Oh. Wrong way. Shit, we lost a bunch of people. Nice, level 3 limit break. Alright, well, we're good. That wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty straightforward. More than anything, the music was really nice. Her hair's white now. Is this how she's gonna get to live in Doma now? Now she's totally a different person because her hair is different? Okay, that wasn't too bad. That was pretty fun. I'm a hell of a lot stronger than... Yo! your own sister, you ass. Am I not gonna do something to stop her from him from shooting her? Really? I can't do nothing.
You really must learn to finish the job.
Fuck you! What?
'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down.
I'm just letting this happen? What is the thought process of, like, clearly he instigated.
My, such hostility. These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer.
Choose your sister,
Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
You ass, you instigated all this.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This doorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
Yeah, okay, we're done here.
It should have been mine.
Can I kick this guy's ass now, please?
The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
That's what this is all about.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Yeah, you're insane, dude. Can I just kick his ass?
This harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Please.
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance.
Yes. She still has a bit of power in her still.
These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill.
She planned this from the beginning, like, oh, I got my memories back? I definitely want to kill him too. Oh, she was playing him too. This was part of her plan, I guess. Like, I'll go along with it and go summon, but then give me the power to actually kill.
Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied.
I'll miss you. She's probably not gonna survive this either, but I was right that Gosetsu would be the one to kind of help her in the middle of the fight, or not in the fight, but like just in general redemption. But
You should feel honored.
I don't know if she's gonna survive this though.
I saved the last of my strength, just for you.
Cut him clean in half. And dead. Yep, he's dead. Yeah, she's dying too.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
I'm gonna go with Gosetsu.
He will mourn Tsuyu, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Aw.
Lord Xenos.
Can I curb stop him, please? Why am I getting the echo now, of all times?
Lord Xenos.
Is this gonna clue me in that he's actually still alive?
I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
He's the one. Okay, yeah. He's the one.
Peace.
This is okay. This is gonna clue me in now. What his intentions were, I guess. But more importantly, for us to realize that Xenos is still fucking alive.
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps.
What?
Your Tsuyu's faith is unreliable. But as a child raised to believe in the Kami,
His voice is somewhat different.
She will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so.
Okay.
The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face.
Huh. Okay.
You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Okay, so it's kind of like what I was thinking then. They're trying to play this as shit. See, look, they're summoning icons. We can't be peaceful with them. As much as the whole spin that he was doing about the Popularis and them trying to reform Garlemald from inside was truthful. He wasn't lying about that. That there's an actual faction of people trying to do that, but he's trying to underplay them by having this whole thing play out, so that now that gets people to be like, see, you can't trust the people elsewhere. They're gonna just do this stuff anyway. We have to subjugate them. That's kind of right. So,
your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
oh man. Okay, so we know the intention. What was the whole reason behind all this? But two, Xenos is confirmed now that Xenos is still alive.
My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
And dead. Well, fuck, dude. How is Xenos still alive?
Prevailed, I see.
Guys, we have a situation.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Yeah. Yeah, he was starting to fall for her a little bit. Nothing like, I don't know if it's romantic, but it just... Anyway, regardless, it sucks.
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale. I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
And how can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
This Maxima might actually be one of the Popularis people that he was talking about before.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second in command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Ian has the right of it. This guy might actually be one of the few people we can, I don't want to say trust just yet, but he might be on the right side of things at the moment, so.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
You... What?
Alphinaud, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Our new friends? I wouldn't call...
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
Our new friends being the Garleans, these specific Garleans. I just want to be clear about that.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
I believe in you, Alphinaud, but please be careful, okay?
'Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind.
Oh shit, she's obviously a little bit upset about it and doesn't want, she's scared about him.
Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
She's so tsundere.
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Alright. Maxima might be actually one of our few people that we can trust for the time being, so... This might be the last time we see Alphinaud for a little while. Well. It is what it is. Tsuyu dragged himself here from his sickbed, only to be greeted by the sight of Gosetsu's corpse. I had not the words to comfort him. Yeah, it sucks. An impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know what I would have, what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something of a family trait. All right. I knew Shadow was planning on some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thanks to the calm you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yasuo's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. It is little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibun before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet awaits at the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. So I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. It would be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. Okay. Maxima might be the one person who can actually somewhat salvage and counter the propaganda that Xenos might be trying to spread through all this. Yeah, they're dressed up as the Garlean thing though, but yeah. Again, they were forced to fight in the army, but
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Of course. Aw. Okay. Could have been worse, but yeah. Is this game lagging a little bit? See some stutter. I actually fucking did the bow for once in a main story. That's awesome. I've said it so many times in other story instances, like, do the bow, Samir. People are bowing to you. Just do it too. Like, no? Okay, fine. Finally, I do it. Come on, you've been here long enough. You should know the customs a little bit, at least.
Ah, there you are.
What, you done mourning already? Alright, and he's back in his, He shaved?
Gosetsu, your hair.
This must
My
be
friend, what have you done?
Why is that the reaction?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage.
He's gonna be a monk now or
to
something?
walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Gosetsu, don't leave us. Aw, like I don't want you to leave, but I kind of he needs some time, I think, and this is partially part of the reasons why he wants to leave. He's just like, I need some time to mourn and just kind of do my own thing for a while. Gosetsu, best of luck.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphinaud, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over.
Aw, this is the last time we'll see Gosetsu really. I don't know if this will be the last time we see him per se, but He's no longer a warrior anymore, that's for sure. He can't fight anymore.
Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before.
Can we give him a hug, please? I want hugs in this game so much, but I can't. I can't get it. God damn it.
And with that, I take my leave.
Goodbye, Gosetsu. It's been a pleasure. Hope we get to see you again. Okay. Well, that just leaves the four of us. It'll be far too quiet without Gosetsu around. I wonder if we'll see him again. Oh, speaking of reunions, have you spoken with Ihanasai? It turns out his father was among the returning conscripts. Ah. He might be around here, actually. Gosetsu relinquished his duties with the grace befitting a samurai lord. I only hope that I can fill the void which he has left behind. Oh, he's literally right here, and that's probably his father. Look at you, boy. Life in the sea has made you strong. Thank you, Kami spotted the cracked plank. The ship ended up bringing my father home. And the captain said, well, let's just say I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm gonna live in Dome with my father. We're free. Cool. Very cool. Glad they finished that storyline. They put it right there, front and center for us to look at. Anyone else worth talking to? Probably not. All right, that's fine. Let's well then, Ian, turn to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kind Con. I will thank you properly. We still have a little bit more to go here before things are done with this this patch. Lord Zine is expecting you. May I show you in? I didn't take the break I wanted to take, so I'm gonna pause here for like a couple minutes, and then when we get back, we'll finish up the remainder of the quests. And if we finish before 9, well, it's Friday, so we can go a little bit longer if we want to. We'll see if there's something else we might want to do after the main story here. So check back in just a moment. All right, welcome back. Let's carry on, shall we? We need to finish the quest here, but we still have 2 more to do before the end of this patch, so let's get on with it. With all that out of our way, Doma should be able to look forward to a period of relative calm. As for us, well, we have an intriguing story to tell everyone back at the Rising Stones. Yeah, looking forward to head back and talk to everybody. Lord Hien trained under Gosetsu from the day he was old enough to hold a sword. Though he smiled through all the farewells, none will feel his absence more keenly. Yeah. Help see Gosetsu again. He's a good guy. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never be dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you and our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you, I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, perhaps the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphinaud to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu, by building a nation which none need to live in fear. I confess I miss him already. But the thought that he has at last found peace goes way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourselves why he showed Tsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy. Specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Wow. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts. In Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. At the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Wow, we got a little bit of backstory for him, okay. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Okay, I was saying it in a very wrong way than what it was actually. Not that he was falling for her, just more daughterly love, really. Yeah, so whether the kami have been so minded, even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death, with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother? Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that the brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us. In that, she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. Aye. Three cheers for Tsuyu. Here, here, here. We shall remember as Tsuyu. I think that's for the best. Okay. Don't owes you a great debt, my friend. Thank you. We have everything we need to prosper. You and Alexei must promise to visit us again soon. And Alphinaud, too, when he returns from the Empire. Know that my thoughts go with him. However far this progression may take him, we have not seen the last of Gosetsu. Of that I am certain. For sure. Okay, well, seems we're heading back to Gaia Urbania. Alright, ready to head on back, Alexei? I think it's time we get going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Rogger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Leeson about Xenos. After everything we went through, together, we owe her that much. We should probably head out to Taru first, and over here on our way back. No? Okay, I guess we're just gonna Don't teleport that way. This way to Rogger's Reach. We need to let Tataru know as well. Oh, what the fuck? I picked the wrong thing. I'm stupid. Wrong screen. Okay, you missed all that. I apologize, chat. I selected the wrong one. At the end of the stream, I'll go back and see if we can replay those couple scenes there. They should show up in the diary thing. Just the ones at the end there. Or it was really the beginning of the quest, or the end of the last quest, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay. Samir, Alize, you're back. No, Alphinaud. It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's... If this is a joke, gods, it better be a joke. Unfortunately, no. Here's everything that happened. Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it. And here you saying he's alive and well, and living the high life back in Garlemald. I know how ludicrous this sounds, and I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the words of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Samir's. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. It was him. It was Xenos. I wouldn't lie to you, Lise. No, it must have been. I don't know. Some kind of really convincing imposter? Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Wait, really? Dolls, gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? Hey, Thancred. What brings you to the Reach? Alphinaud had me lending a hand at the sultry, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion that the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right to defile his grave. But if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhowl in the Locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked, so as to not upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. Someone was desecrating the grave, though? What was that Nago said about that? I guess they previously? Oh, look at that. Okay, so this whole area is like a crypt up top here. And now we actually have somewhere that's... story related to actually go over there. We had like one quest up there, which was like one of the Aether Current stuff, but I don't know. Surprised they actually... They should have just cremated him and put him aside, like... I don't know. Well, we're about to find out. If Xenos' body is here, then that means it's not Xenos? Or maybe they have some technology to kind of take his consciousness and save it off. I don't know. Here lies the bastard of something or other. Most of the players are grouped together, but they managed to find a lonely spot for Xenos, didn't they? My money is on the writhing snakes, possibly spiders. Let's pry it open and see what comes out. This is it. Gods, he better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check it if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed in doing it. Shall we begin? No one's around? Okay, coast is clear, guys. Let's confirm the goods. Oh god, he better be in there.
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Fuck. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. Well, that's one hell of a grave. It's just like a... It's not even in the...
Must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Shit. Well, this is actually prime time for the weather to kick in like this. Okay, we are being seen by who? Why the smirk? Shit, word is gonna get out. This is not good. We explicitly said we want to make sure no one's watching. There's no corpse, then are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphinaud's theory of Ashian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell that they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Ashian is walking around in Xenos' body? Oh, that could actually make a lot of sense. Okay. And again, they're still trying to get icons to be summoned. That's part of their goal, is to summon Zodiac or something, right? It seems a distinct possibility. Once I put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Rovan needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Rogger's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settled and down in Doma, we're due another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. Yeah, this is not good. I guess we're gonna help you with that. And we're just back at the stones. Okay. Hey guys, we're back. Well, yeah, we kind of saw a little bit of people's reactions here to the fact that the Domans are leaving and all that. Well, I was waiting for you to arrive. I spoke with Urianga over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Your Stola is on her way and should be here any... Ah, there she is. Speak of the devil. Elise, Samir, it is good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Oh, a lot. Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ashen now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Samir? Nay, Alphinaud had the right of it. With that, his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into enemy stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Under the moonlight. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Is it really an Ashian? That's the question now. Or is it truly him? Okay, well there's the Emperor himself. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every part behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. Okay, I guess the Emperor was not entirely in line with his plans, huh? Interesting. Is this the Castrum in the Peaks? Yeah, we hold the place now for sure, but... What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. Uh-oh. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Defend yourself, dude. Ah! Who is this? I can't tell who this is. I have lost many things, but my mind is yet of my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final blow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. It's not Xenos. His face is too different. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins? Embrace goodness in mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Okay. The one I yearn to face, that's exactly what is this Xenos? I can't quite tell. Again, he has like the ears like a Elysian though. The one I might yet face. Is this actually him? Actually, Xenos? But he has like a covering on? Yeah, Xenos has blue eyes like that though. I think that might have actually been Xenos. I'm not 100% sure though. If he survived his visits to Garlemald, we know precious little about life in the Imperial capital. Alright, this is the last quest of the store for the patch. Without thoughts of Alphinaud's plight weighing heavily on her mind, Alize might welcome some company. It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? Oh, a few days has passed since, okay. But I suppose all we can do now is wait for a word from Alphinaud. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me the tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. The table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. Can I... That's not the seat I wanted to sit in, but okay. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended that you set aside a sufficient... Okay, we're having one of these long cutscenes here. Which means shit is going to go down here. So, these, like, lengthy cutscenes usually only happen in, like, the patch stories in between. It's very rare that we get these in the main story itself. We got like one or two, I think, but anyway, interesting. So the Tsukuyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susanoo, via the medium of a sacred relic. Right. They believe their gods, or kami, reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalog of such relics. But if we are to contain the threat, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea. And I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could help to prevent the further summonings in the region. I will pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Hien will wish to welcome our resident expert in aetherology. Greetings. Could it be that I'm in time for tea? It certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went. Oh boy, this might be, So, did they actually see a dead body in the coffin? That's the question now. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhost gravekeepers. They all told me much the same story. Once Lee Center officer had confirmed Xenos is dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seemed little reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' graves, accounts grew rather more vague. Okay, so that's when that happened. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by vengeful Alamigan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scrawl was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the corpse, or the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like the corpse was already missing. Assuming Xenos has not in fact risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed imposter, or an Ashian has taken upon residence within it. If Asahai was a fervent devotee as you would believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with the Ashian and proceed accordingly. Yeah, the Ashian would probably play the better impersonator, you know? Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphinaud and Garlemald? The presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Alphinaud, please be safe. That's all we can ask for, I guess. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft LXXV. Okay. Master Alphinaud, we are making good speed towards our destination. Is aught amiss? Nay, 'tis just... I can see not from my cabin, and was curious to know the land over which we flew. I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I am happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Ulthard. Okay. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but moms upon moms of lifeless earth. The burns. Okay. I've read something of the burns. It was described as a desolate wasteland, but it drive every last drop of aether. Aye. It's believed that a succession of icon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Ulthard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence, and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Oh. Report! We're under attack, sir. Magic armor. No official designation. Magitech? But who? All cannons, return fire. Damage report. The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Oh shit. Damn it, they knew exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact. Okay, so they're crashing in the burns. Oh! Alphinaud, don't die on us. Glad to have you back, Master Alphinaud. We have landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged, and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out while we still can. Aye. Aye. Okay. Duty calls. Commence battle for Emissary of the Dawn. There's a fight? We're playing as Alphinaud? You will fight as Alphinaud. Well, shit. I might ask you search for survivors. I'll see our injured helmsman. Holy shit, look at the... Alright. Well, okay, first things first. I need to look at this. Okay, we're at the burn. This is the burn here. This area over here. I figured it was that much. Okay, let me make sure I know my abilities here. I only have Ruin 3. I have Starstorm, which is just Limit Break. Okay. I have Physics, so I can heal, and Tri-Shackle. Deal massive damage with a potency of 30 to target and all enemies nearby, and it binds them. Okay, so it's a bind and a... It's just a bind. With a... It does a little bit of damage, but otherwise, okay. Is that all my abilities, really? But Carbuncle... I have Carbuncle as well. Is... I forget how to get, like, the... Well, no, I should just be able to do that. Okay. Alright, let's look for survivors, I guess. I am, so surprised we're playing with Alphinaud here. This is so... This is new. This is unique. I don't see anybody. Oh, okay. Okay, at least they're okay. They're doing a little bit of a tutorial here to kind of make sure you know what the fuck you're doing. My thanks. I don't think I would have made it. Yes, you're very likely to save his life. The question of who would try to take it remains, however. The prince wishes none left alive. Oh, the prince. They've come out to parley, I fear. Ready your weapons. All right, let's do a bind. I need a heal. All right, that's the commander. Let's do we get the buff out of standing next to him? Yeah, shining. Okay, that was a thing he had before. What's that give me though? Increases damage dealt while reducing damage taken. Okay, cool. Remember that ability? All right, so we weren't wrong, or Hien wasn't wrong when he's mentioned that there's some treachery afoot. All right, so these Garlands are definitely going to be on our side going forward, I would imagine. If Garland proper would actually try to kill their own men. Guys, you cannot die here on us. That's all I'm gonna say. Confound it, not here. Not like this. Oh? What? Who in the Empire's name? Who are these people? Enemies are enemies. Introductions can wait. You're common in crisis, Master Alphinaud. Let's finish this then. Yeah, seriously, who are these people? Hopefully they are our allies. Oh, I am so intrigued by this. I want to know what the hell's going on. Who are these people that showed up? All right. All right, we'll stay in. Da 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 da. Storied Lancer, menacing mercenary. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we have a limit break thing, so we know what to save that for. Wait, why did I change target? When did I change targets? I don't even know when I did. Oh, careful. Let's bind them. A child's trick. All right, let's stay in the thing for the buff. We're gonna help him out. Holy shit, the damage is really slow. Yeah. Storied mage. Here, my turn. You know what? No, not yet. I'll save it for, I don't know if this will be the last of them here, but I'll save it for the next group. Da 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 da, da 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 da. I kind of just want to use it because I don't know if this is gonna... Damn it, it was. Boo, I should have used it. Oh well, that's fine. We've seen it before in the last time we fought together, so... That's a gun weapon. My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Okay, it's a fellow Garlean, though. Well, well. I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a Scion. He knows who I am. You know of me, sir? I have some small history with your order. But I would speak of the present. Know you of your assailants, and the severity of your predicament. The soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I can venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer. An Ashen mask? The face of our prey. Really? You've managed to kill Ashians yourselves, for that matter. That's no small feat. We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now. Even should we manage the long trek out of the burns and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer. Shadowhunter will suffice for the present. Come. Okay. I'm starting to sense the beginnings of Shadowbringers here. Who is this guy? Oh my god, he has a ton of masks. Wait, the white one? I think there was a specific reason for that. The white hooded Ashian, I forget his name, Elidibus or something like that? He didn't have a white mask though. This isn't horrible, but as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alphinaud but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlean from the east, I could make my way there from Amigo and find out where there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. Then I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here and sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Right. Again, so there's 3 continents, but they're all connected though, so it's kind of one giant continent. I forgot what the term is, but it's kind of like how Africa and Asia and Europe are all connected, even though the 3 of them are continents. Anyway, forgive me, Alize, but the provinces are hostile territories, and stealth is all important. It's safer that I go alone. You're gonna make that travel. That's a long-ass fucking travel, though. Just saying. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. By no means I would say I'll go with him if I was a ninja main, but I'm not. We should do this to Thangrid. Not you too. I understand your frustration, LSA, but Samira has the right of it. We must defer to Dankwood's expertise in this matter. Fine, just promise you'll be careful. She feels useless, or helpless in this matter, but what is going on? Okay. Elsie and her brother bicker as all siblings do, but she worries for him nonetheless. It would be a kindness if you were to visit from time to time and distract her from her cares. Well, I'd best put my skulking boots. There'll be no room for mistakes once I've crossed the border from Alamigo. Yeah, like, he's talking about, like, traveling this way into, everything over here is claimed by the Empire, so you can keep going this way, and you've seen the world map in times, right? When we, like, the times when we've traveled across from here, everything that's covered in clouds is owned by the Empire or claimed by the Empire at this point. There's a lot. So there's a whole continent that we haven't been to yet. It's one of the 3 great continents. Where like up here in the northeast is where Garlemald is, and the far east is part of this is the 2nd continent here, and they all kind of meet up in the middle. So it's just interesting to think about. It seems that praying is the best to my contribution of after all, but I'll stay behind as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happens to involve a silver tongue and a soft soul. I promise to send word the moment I learn an odd of a consequence. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldern vessel to bear me thither. But I shall return if I am needed. Okay. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Samira. With any luck, I'll have plainly detailed report from Alphinaud to share. I hope so. Alright guys, I'll see you when I see you. Da-da-da! Alright, so that's been added to new... Oh, that was a facial? Yeah, it's a facial expression. I like the look. Alright. Well, that'll do for the story today, but as promised, let's real quick go to an inn and see if we can replay that one section there that we missed. Because I was stupid and I changed to the wrong scene, so that is my bad. I should be able to. I see no reason not. Alright, the unending journey. So, if we go to post Stormblood and we go to the second to last quest, which is under the Moonlight. Right, I think. No, it was... Is it this one? It was one of the last ones for sure. No, not this one. Maybe it was the last. God, I don't even recall when. I don't think it was this, because no, it was still part of the quest, and we saw this. I went on break. When did I go on break? Holy shit. I went inside to talk. It was after everyone came back, and then we went inside to talk finally, and they were like, yeah, okay, so it was... Okay. So we can't replay that one unless it was part of the yeah, so it was definitely the last cutscene here, but whether or not we can actually see it, it's part of like the quest. So in order to see that scene again, I would have to do New Game Plus and play through the whole chapter again. So yeah, it's not possible. I'm sorry, folks. That was my bad, but you didn't miss too much, and I was reading it out loud anyway, so no big deal. Okay, that'll do it for today, I guess. Anything I want to do otherwise? I can't think of. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I'll do it. On Monday, we will tackle the next patch worth of stories, which is called Prelude in Violet, which is patch 4.4. We'll do that. Well, the plan is Monday. Yeah, we'll just stick to Monday. Over the weekend, this weekend, I'll focus on some of the other things I've been wanting to do, which is get like a lot of the crafting stuff done and prepare for the Wednesday stream that I wanted to do, though that might be on a Tuesday instead. We'll have to see. I don't want to burn myself out either, so I might just stick to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday plan as usual. So otherwise, yeah, we'll stick to that. We have Prelude and Violet on Monday. On Wednesday, we will finish up a lot of the side quests that we wanted to do. I don't see that we'll have a lot. Well, we're finishing up Hildebrand, which we only have 2 more quests left for the Heavensward content. And then after that, we have these ones related to Doma and the reconstruction effort, which these will lead to it eventually. So definitely want to go through that real quick. Again, that's the plan. And then once we're done with that and the Doma reconstruction effort begins in earnest, then we'll jump back into the Four Lords storyline and finish that as much as we can. We have beaten one of the Four Lords, and the second one was, or the first was rather... Wait, where is it? Right, again, I keep forgetting that Genbu, that I was like, where did we fight this guy? Hell's Lid. Right, so we did Hell's Lid, and Genbu was that was so we fought 2 lords, so we should have 2 more lords left to fight, and then potentially even Koryu. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Looking forward to towards that storyline and doing more trials, because those are always fun. And if we finish all of that, we'll be pretty much done with Stormblood, because then on Friday we'll finish up with the last patches 4.5 and 4.56, which is Requiem for Heroes, which is the last bits of story before Shadowbringers begins. So they're setting up here with whoever these people are, the Shadowhunters, which will potentially lead us to whatever happens in Shadowbringers proper. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because again, Shadowbringers is really supposed to be really fun. It's the best expansion thus far, and I just want to know more about what the story entails. And I'm glad to see that we've actually had this is a new place that we've actually got to experience a little bit. Not us as a Warrior of Light, but with Alphinaud at least. I'm always happy to see new places, which makes me think, we'll go over here at some point. Maybe the mountain range, you know, the end of the Azim Steppe, you can get to the edge and you can't really see much else, but maybe there'll be something there we'll get to see. And we've been around here. The more of the world we get to see, the better. Yeah, it's just gonna be a good time overall. So I think that's it. I'm not gonna blabber on any longer. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Samir the Knight, and I will see you on Monday for the continuation of the main story. As always, have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.